Hello. Welcome back to episode 2 of my silly little podcast. Today is a good day, girls. The sun is shining, not a cloud in the sky, no noise today. My camera battery is full. Like, we're ready to go, and there will be no disturbances this time. I don't know how to start this week's episode. Like, I don't really have an opener. I guess update from the week. I didn't do much. That's a lie. I've been so busy all week. Monday or Tuesday. I don't even know what days it is anymore. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know what days it is anymore. But I think Monday I went to the fabric store. Bought a bit of fabric. I'm making a dress for my graduation. We'll see how that goes. I think it'll be pretty good. I just need to actually do it and make sure it's done in time, because the days are dwindling. Like, it's almost time. But I thought, since I studied fashion design, might as well sew my final thing, well, not my final thing, but like sew a dress for my graduation, like as proof that I actually did this. if the degree in my hands at the graduation wasn't proof enough, the dress will be. Okay. Also, I don't know if this angle right now with the camera is the same as last week's, but we'll just hope, okay? We'll just hope it looks good. I tried my best. Also, when I went to the fabric store, I wanted to get wool for my grandmother to knit me a sweater, because I have this sweater that I love. It's so fluffy and soft, but I want one in pink. She didn't knit the first one. I did buy the first one, but I feel like in pink it would look so cute. Then I couldn't find wool. Like, okay, there would first of all, it had to be like soft and fluffy. Second of all, it had to be the correct kind of pink. Like, I don't know if you can tell, I really love pink. Today there's not a lot of pink in the background, but like, I have so much pink stuff. Like, if it's not pink, I really don't care and I don't want it. You know what I mean? So it had to be the correct shade of pink as well. And then my granny was like, do not buy thin wool. I do not want small wool. And I was like, okay. So it had to be thick or chunky. So I was looking around the whole damn wool section. They didn't have a single thing. I think I walked around the whole thing at least 5 times. And then the sweet little Afrikaans lady who works there came up to me. And in Afrikaans, I can't really speak Afrikaans. I can understand it. But she was like, how can I help you? And I was like, oh, I'm looking for like the wool, and I tried to describe it, and she was like, we don't have it. And I was like, oh do you have something similar? Like, hello, what do you mean you don't have it? So then she like tried to show me something similar, and she's like, no. Then she got a phone call and completely forgot about me. Answered the phone, disappeared, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I keep looking. I'm like lifting each wool. I'm feeling it. Also, another thing, like, if I do not like specific textures on my skin. And some wools are scratchy. Like, it needs to be soft and plush, or else I will lose my mind. Like, I cannot wear like a itchy sweater or like anything that is weird texture. So I'm like feeling each one. I'm like looking. Some were like fluffy and like perfect, but just not the right color. And like, even if it wasn't pink, like I could like, I thought, should I make a sacrifice? But I was like, no, I want it to be pink. So, long story short, I did find one wool that was like perfect. It looked so good, felt amazing, but then they only had 2 balls of yarn, and I was like, how are we gonna make a sweater out of this? And then I asked again, hey, do you have more of these? They didn't have. And she was like, we're never getting stock of this one again. And I was like, okay. Yeah, so that's my whole story. And then I got fabric for my dress. And then another thing that's irrelevant. What else? Oh, I should stop doing that. I started Accutane last week. Woo! Yay! It really sucks. This is literally my first time. It's really not even funny. This is my fourth time on Accutane. Girl, whatever is wrong with my skin is something serious. Like, I don't know, girl. And last year, like, mid-June, July, August-ish, I went to the doctor and I was like, please, give me Accutane, please. And he was like, no, you're just stressed. You need to exercise. And I was like, excuse me? What does exercising have to do with my skin? Like, I get stressed, but like, what does it have to do with anything? And then I was like, well, I would exercise, but like, my entire life is consumed with college. And he was like, well, when you're done with college, then you can get it. And I was like, damn, it's strict over here. It's strict. Because my other doctor just gave it to me without problems. And she wasn't there that day. So then he was just like fighting. Anyways, so yeah, I went. It was a disaster. The blood. Because if you don't know, if you've never been on Accutane before, you have to get a blood test to make sure like your liver and like cholesterol are like not too high, because if it's high you can't take it because it could make it spike or something. And they have to monitor, so like they see what your liver and cholesterol was in the start, and like after a few months, if it raises, you can't take it anymore, basically. So I go to do the blood test. Trigger warning for those who do not like blood and do not like tests and do not like needles, because girl, I'm that person. I hate all three of those. So do the blood test. Now I have trauma with blood tests and needles, and I also just don't like blood. But when I was a little kid, I used to have horrible stomach issues, okay? I used to have, like, I would go to the hospital because I would be dying. For TMI, I had chronic constipation, so I would not be able to poop. And that would cause me to die. It would be blocked. And I'd be like, I'm in pain. Yeah. So the first time this happened and I had all this horrible pain, I had to do 50,000 tests because they were like, we don't know what this could possibly be. Because maybe I exaggerate a little, but like that period of my life, it's not, I don't have it anymore, luckily, but I was like on, weird like stuff for a long time, and like it was just bad. I would go for like weeks. When I say like, I don't think not that many people have ever needed to go to the emergency room, right? I feel like that's not for everyone. The very rare cases would you be in so much pain that it can't even wait till a doctor's appointment. It needs emergency room attention. I have been in that situation 3 times. There was a time, again TMI, I literally thought like something has exploded inside of me. I was screaming, I fainted. It was painful. And then I couldn't go to a party. That night. And I just stayed home and get an enema. This is too much. This is too far. I feel like I'm revealing too much. Anyways, when I was young, they didn't know what it was. So they had to do a bunch of tests, right? And they did a blood test. And I don't know if it's just because this doctor's office was cold or if I just don't have veins. She put that needle in and out of my arm This is not an exaggeration. I counted, and I remember this trauma very well. 20 times in each arm. You'd think I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I don't know anything about blood tests, but you would think if you can't find a vein, wait, just wait. Like, just hold on. You don't need to do it 20 times. Just like, oh, I can't find it, let's wait 5 minutes, let's rub your arm or something, wake up the vein. I don't know, I was young, I was like at least 12, 13. This was horrible. I wanted to cry, but I was scared if I cried she would shout at me, because she was a very scary woman. And like, she kept blaming me because I didn't have veins. Like, what do you want me to do? She's like, I can't find the vein. Why can't I find the vein? I don't know, girl, this is your job, not mine. Anyways, after that, I was like, never again. You're never gonna catch me in a situation where I need needles. And then many a time was I in a situation that needed needles. Okay, and nothing hurts worse than having your blood drawn. Maybe worse than that is getting a what is this thing called? A drip put in your arm. That is horrible stuff. That feeling, oh my gosh. I think they use the biggest possible needle to put a drip in. Horrible. Anyways, so yeah, I go to do my blood test. And I'm looking away because I don't like the look of needles either, okay? If I had a blood test, they're about this big. Like, they are big, long needles. So I'm just, like, minding my business, okay? I've done this again. This is my 4th time. So, I know the drill. Just gonna stick it in, pull out some blood, and I get to leave. Quick, 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes, like 2 minutes. It's a real quick process. I'm like this. She's like, oh, are you scared? I'm like, just a little. I'm scared of needles. And she's like, oh, don't worry, it'll be quick. Puts it in. No vein. No blood comes out. She pulls it out and she says, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do it again. I look at her and I'm like, did I not just say I was scared? And she's like, I know how you're feeling, like the worst thing as I don't know what you call a blood nurse, but like the worst feeling, she said this is when the person is scared and you have to do it again. Anyway, she does it again, like literally a millimeter below the spot she did it before, and the blood comes out, and she's like, I don't know why that didn't work, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. She was really sweet. I wasn't mad at her. And then I explained my trauma to her. I trauma dumped on her. And then we carried on. And then I just left, and that was it. It was fine. So yeah, now I'm on Accutane again, because my skin, I've been suffering. Like, my skin has been so bad. And like, the thing is, it's not even that it looks bad, because it does, but also it's not like that's the only thing. For me personally, it is painful. It is so sore. Like some of them are deep, but it's just like a sore thing. Like, you do not want like severe acne. I don't think anyone wants that, but like, it's sore. And I know mine is not the worst it could be, because I've seen some people with like way worse, and it has been way worse than it is currently, right? But I can't really imagine how painful, like, if you have like severe acne all over. Shout out to the severe acne girls, okay? But yeah, honestly, today it doesn't look that bad, but I'm just hoping, like, you can't really tell from the distance and how bad the camera quality is of my camera. You can't tell how bad it looks, hopefully. But yeah, so drinking a lot of water. The worst part about being on Accutane is you wake up, every morning I wake up feeling like when SpongeBob was in Sandy's dome. I'm like severely dehydrated every morning, and I'm thinking I'm drinking enough. I'm drinking like 3 liters a day. but I also forget to drink water. that's why I have my water bottle here today, and I haven't drank any yet, but it's okay. Anyways, yeah, I've been exercising still. I've been, journaling, meditating, doing the most. I've started White Lotus, because here's the thing, everyone's talking about it, everyone's watching it, and I get FOMO. I don't want to be left out of things. Like, I just want to understand what's going on. Like, what's the show about? I have to be honest, I don't know what the plot is. Before watching it, I thought it was like a murder mystery, right? Like, I thought it was about to be a Knives Out situation. And I was low-key hoping for that, because I love a good, like, murder mystery thing. It's not that. If you're thinking it's that, it's not. I saw a meme the other day that was like, White Lotus is for people for nosy people. And yeah, because I feel like we just, like, should not be hearing these things, seeing these things. I'm only, like, in the middle of season 2, so I'm not done, but so far season 2, I can't tell if it's better than season 1 or worse than season 1. I don't know. Season 1, I'm sorry, like, this whole episode is gonna be spoilers, because I did say last week that I have a lot to discuss, but season 1, I did not like that man. The one who kept making complaints about the room. If I got put in the wrong room, and then I went to go and, like, ask the worker, hey, I think this is not the room that I booked, and they were like, oh, well, it's booked, I would just be like, okay, cool. I would have accepted it. I'd be like, okay, that's fine, but I'm not gonna pay the amount for the room I did book. You're gonna have to, like, fix that. And they were like, okay, we will do that. Cool. Problem over. Like, anything else is not that serious. And the room that they had looked very nice. Is this how rich people are? Do they just like to complain for no reason? Because, like, I can't handle people who do that. Like, I can't. People who, like, keep going on and on. Like, the situation could not be resolved because someone else was in that room. What do you want? Like, okay, yeah, they double booked it. A horrible mistake on their end. And I do think, like maybe they should have given them a discount or something. Like, I would have asked for a discount since you did double book me. Like, do you know what I mean? But then, like, okay, I was not on his side really, but when he called the person he booked the room through to, like, confirm that he did book the quote-unquote honeymoon room, and they were like, you did, I would have gone back and been like, hey, just to confirm, I did book that room and I'm not in that room, and that's fine, but you're gonna have to give me a discount. And that would be the end of it. Like, I'd have been like, I want extra free meals, The second season, I'm just like, what's going on? Who are these girls? Why are they doing the dance with no pants with everyone in this hotel? Good for them. Get your bag, I guess. But then they went from the father, then they went with the grandfather, then they were the son. I was like, damn, you got the whole family. But yeah, I'm still like, I don't know. It's really just like in rich people's business is what I think the plot of the show is. And I'm like, I guess. I haven't decided how I feel about it yet. Anyways, next on the agenda is Love Island. USA Season 6. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to discuss. Season 6. Okay, I am definitely late to the trend because obviously the season was last year. But I did want to. Okay, last year I was watching the UK season 11, and I was so busy. Like I had to bring it up. Like I'm starting to sound like someone who is, peaked in college, but I was real stressed last year, and I was like, I can't even watch this. Like I was watching a whole bunch of stuff, like old movies, but then the Love Island thing, I feel like I need to focus because I need to see how everyone is doing each other dirty. So I don't even think I finished season 11, and also that lady, I don't remember her name, but her and that Italian man were pissing me off. They just kept getting on my nerve. I do remember I watched until they came back from Casa. So maybe I'll finish that, and yeah, but that one I was like it was just too much, and like she was doing too much, and I did not like her. But season 6 US, go. This is my thing, okay? This is my theory with Love Island. I feel like people go on that show. Well, okay, the girls, I think, like, half of them go on because they really do want to find love, and they're like, like, where else can you find love? Let's be real. And then half of them go because they want to get Insta famous. Fine. Maybe they want to find a bit of love. Maybe they, yeah. Most of the guys, if not all of the guys, go on there because in real life, not a single woman would want to be with them for longer than a week because they are the most evil, disgusting, dirty fucking dogs that there are on this planet. The reason that they can't find love outside of that show is because they're evil. They are evil. Some of the girls too. Most of the men. This season, I can't even count on one hand the men who are good people. Just good, decent people. Miguel, half and half, okay. Maybe Cordell. The rest, oh my gosh, girl, it like, I don't even think I have, like, blood pressure problems, but it definitely gave me that, like, what the hell was going on with these men? Also, what's his name, Connor, he was nice, but, like, no one liked him, but that's fine, I think if I was there, I would, no, okay, I haven't, like, seen other people's opinions on it, like, I don't go on any apps and, like, I don't know how other people felt about them, but I felt like watching the show, I felt like people probably liked Kendall. They probably liked Kenny was nice too. Kenny was really nice. I think after the okay, we'll talk about Kenny later. Kendall, I saw through you. I know that you are disgusting. Because here's the thing, right? First of all, I completely forgot about Hannah. I was watching it, and then I watched the reunion. I was like, who the hell is that? I was like, oh yeah. Okay, Kendall and Hannah didn't get along. Well, not that they didn't get along, but they just didn't, have a vibe. They were more like friends. Fine. Right? Fine. Then, every single time, all he did was complain. No one likes me. I'm not in a couple. No one wants to couple with me. I keep getting hurt. You a crybaby. You are a crybaby. You need to get slapped. You need to get put in your place. And I was glad when I watched that reunion. I don't know what happened, because I was very confused. They never really said what happened between Nicole and Kendall, and like what was, I don't know what was going on. But I was so like, so someone needed to put him in his place. Like, someone really needed to put him in his place. Then who else? Who are the other guys? Miguel, like, okay, like, I don't know why he brought a girl back from the villa. From Casa. I understand why they all went to Casa, because I think it would have been dumb and kind of unreasonable if, like, a guy stayed behind. Like, that's the whole point. Like, you go to Casa, you do your thing. No one's in, like, a serious relationship. Like, no one's blaming them for going. No one blames them for the challenges. It's how they behaved outside of those challenges. The way Aaron acted is literally like, you've been waiting to cheat. That man, I could tell from the start, he is a cheater. I did not like Aaron. Who was I talking about before Aaron? Miguel. Okay, dare I say Miguel and Leah were like, they were close, but like, here's the thing, she knew he was gonna act out and like be wild at Casa, okay? But Kayla, when they were like, blah, she was like, I can't believe he did this. And right before, he said that when he goes to Casa, if he goes to Casa, he will not act wild. He will not kiss anyone. He wouldn't do that. And you know what? The very first thing, touchdown, open the door, starts making out with everyone. Disgusting. Kendall too, like, this is the thing. This was my issue with these guys. None of them could accept when they were wrong. None of them could accept, okay, look, we acted like fucking idiots in Casa. Yeah, I made out with other people. But you know what? I'm sorry. If you could just have said sorry to any one of those girls, it would have been so much better. But no, they all complained. Like, whenever, this was my thing, whenever a girl did something in this season, whenever a girl did anything, it was like they were the worst women on earth. They were evil. They were, doing the worst things. How could you do that? The boys start, when they would start crying, they would start acting like the women were the devils, evil, horrible women. Whenever the guys did anything, it was a big joke. It was hee hee ha ha, we're giggling. When they had that movie night and they were showing all the clips, oh, it's just for fun, ha ha ha. Here we are laughing, giggling. It's not serious, we're joking, ha ha ha. Whenever a clip of a girl showed, tears, all the men in tears. What the hell? It's funny when they doing things, when they acting like dogs. When the girls do things and act appropriately, they are horrible. If I was in that villa, I would have slapped everyone there. What? And then, okay, Aaron, like, okay, we all know Aaron's a horrible person. Kendall, the biggest crybaby. Whenever anything's going wrong, crying. But what did I do? No. Honestly, Cordell was pretty mature in everything. I think, like, he's just a bit, like, he was acting a bit too nonchalant in the start. And I was just like, but here's the thing. He stood by Serena the whole time from the start. And I like that. Yeah, when he went to the villa, it was like a big mess. But, they were happy in the end. They forgave each other. My only thing was, and like, I feel like we have to give everyone grace and like, whatever. When Serena, like, when they were doing that challenge, when they each had to, like, they had to dance, and whoever And if if you like your partner, you'll keep dancing, and if you don't, you're gonna go sit down. Hopefully I'm making sense. I don't remember what it was called, but and then Cordell was still there dancing, and Serena sat down. I was like, girl, how you it's obvious you like him, like just get it together. Like, why are you doing that? And I feel like when she did that, it kind of made it seem to Cordell like, oh, she's still not serious about me. So then when Casa came about, he was like, well, I'm gonna see what's up. That girl he brought back, weird, real weird. When are we gonna start with her? She was weird, okay? That's what I have to say. She's weird, and I did not like her energy. Some of the girls were not girls. Liv, I could not hate a girl more. You know, most of the girls could do no wrong in my eyes. Liv, I did not like that. I feel like she was just, dare I say, she was sticking behind all the white girls. Sorry. When that situation between Leah and Rob went down, look, I was like, we need to just be honest. Of course, Leah, like, I'm sure half of her wanted the girl to go because half of her wanted Rob, but the other half was just like, we have to pick someone. Do you know what I mean? And everyone there had a bias. When they showed that full clip in the thing, what's her name? Liv was pushing so hard for Nicole to go, but knowing damn well, like, no matter who went, everyone's gonna be upset. If Janae went, the girls were gonna be upset. Do you know what I mean? If Nicole went, Kendall was gonna be upset. If whatever her name was went, Rob was gonna be upset. Like, someone has to be upset. And in the end, that's the whole point of this thing. And Rob, yeah, I hate Rob. I hate Rob with a burning passion. Okay, I saw right through him from day one. When the Liv came in there, I knew what Rob was on, and I could tell before it even started. I was like, I can tell that he is going to do Leah dirty. I could tell. He was there just to hop. He was in a new couple each week. He was hopping around girl to girl to girl. He should have gone home a long time ago. And this is why I feel like the, what do you call it? The OG Islanders always get favoritism. And I don't like that. Sometimes you just need to let them go. They always let the girls go. The guys, they're like, no. I get why Janae had to stay, and like, she had to stay, girl. Rob, he was a dirty dog. He needed to go. And then he wants to throw a fit because you want your cake and you want to eat it too. He wanted to couple up with that girl and have Leah as a backup plan. That's what he wanted. And then he's there, like, starts crying in front of her. And then he's like, oh, she's not letting me be vulnerable. She doesn't want to hear me talk. Of course I don't want to hear you talk after you just coupled up with a new girl. In my face for the second time. Like, why? I don't want you anymore. To put it quite simply, I don't want you anymore. Leave me alone. And I have to be honest, Leah didn't have to hear him out. She didn't. He was like, oh, I always hear her out. But you're not. You're not hearing that she's upset that you're coupled with someone else again. He wanted to be coupled up with that girl so that he could kiss on her, lay in bed with her, touch on her, and still get to chat to Leah the next day, and still, you know, maybe couple up with Leah, maybe couple up with that girl again. He wanted to have both of them. He couldn't. He was a dirty dog. Everyone who came in, like, why couldn't you just stick with the girl from Casa? Why? Because you're a liar. You are. Anyways, I don't know what else to say besides, like, the men were horrible, the girls were angels, and I'm so glad that Kayla saw Aaron's bullshit in the end. And also, can we discuss Aaron and Rob for a moment? Aaron, you keep doing your girl wrong. You're a manipulator. You're a love bomber because you like men. Because you love Rob. You're in love with Rob. Anything happens to Rob, sobbing. But when your girl is crying because she's upset with your actions, you can't even say sorry. And you're there like, why do you keep bringing this up? What? This is why I can't be in a relationship because I start beating on them. If I had to come home and watch that season and see how Aaron was behaving, I would have had to beat him with a shoe or with a pan or something. I'm kidding. I'm really not a violent person. Like, I can't even shout at people. I can shout at people, but like, I'm a crybaby. I can't argue like without crying. I can't be in any conflict without crying. Like, but the way he acted would bring me to violence. That would be my only answer. But that was Love Island. I really did enjoy that season. I saw people like saying that oh, but you see, now next season everyone's just gonna want to go there so they could get fame. They're gonna want to try to recreate recreate like Leah's moments or recreate Serena's moments. I don't think you guys have actually watched Love Island, because I have been watching Love Island, mainly the UK. I haven't watched the US before. This is the first season I've seen in the US. I haven't even watched the South African one, okay? But I've watched almost every single season of the UK one. From season 1. I was there from season 1. Maybe not when it came out, because I think that was before my time. I think I was a child. But I used to love X on the Beach. I used to love what is that show called? Geordie Shore. I used to love all of those shows. Anything British, I loved it. Me and my cousin, we'd constantly watch it. We have been there from Love Island season 1. Y'all don't even understand how the drama would go down. Like, the way they fight, the way they argue, nothing compared to season 1 and season 2. When they first of all, they had to ban smoking. They had to be smoking packs a day. They still had like alcohol. I know they don't have real alcohol. That champagne you see them drinking, it's not real. Because back then they would have beers, they would have everything. They would be so drunk that they would fight, like physically fight. And there would be so much drama, so much crying, like bleeding. They would constantly be, doing the do. They would be smoking the cigarettes. I remember them like, can I pull you for a chat, love? And it's them smoking a cig. Season 1 was something else. You don't even understand. From then, you guys don't get like a big part of Love Island is the fame you get after Love Island. That money you win is one thing, okay? Some are there for money, yes, and that's one thing, but it doesn't even matter if you win or you don't. You're gonna get clout. That's a big part of it. Like, that's a big part of any show, any reality show, any scripted show. Like, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get famous off of it. I feel like that's like the biggest and most important part of most reality shows these days, is like, how famous is it gonna make me? Why else would you go? Like, you're gonna be on international television. Of course you're going there for clout. Half of it is for clout. I do think some people go there and overplay it and over dramatize everything, but nowadays, I dare say, I feel like a lot of reality shows are giving scripted. It's giving like evil editing, hella, like, it's just not as authentic and also some people are like a bit more scared to be themselves and to be crazy, because they're scared that they're gonna get evil edited, and 2, they're scared like the public is just not gonna take it well. That's just a part of it. That's a part of the game. It's a part of reality shows these days. And I'm not like, I don't like other stuff. I don't like Love is Blind. I think I watched one season. I was like, This is such a stupid show. I can't. Another show that I started but I haven't finished is Married at First Sight. I have to finish it. I actually should finish that. I hated Too Hot to Handle. I watched the first season and I was like, this is stupid and so bad. It's just bad. I don't like most of them. If it's a dating show on Netflix, I'm not watching it. I'm just simply not. Like, I just know it's gonna be bad. I just know it is. You guys, the time has come to talk about this book. This fuck-ass book. This is the book I was talking about in my last episode. My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshe. Don't know if I'm saying that correctly. This book... Guys, this book put me through so much stress. I started reading it last year, okay? I saw a lot of people talking about this book. Like, here's the thing. I'll be honest, sometimes I'm easily influenced. I saw a lot of girls who, you know, share aesthetics, share interests that I like, talking about this book. The title makes it seem like it's gonna be this peaceful book, like it's gonna be, like, I don't know what I thought this book was gonna be. Like, even people talk about this book like it's the Bible, okay? The, what do you call this, reviews? Let me read all of them for you. A relentless, savage fable of privilege and pain. Diamond Hard Entertainment, The Guardian. Savage, funny, frequently on the verge of teetering into lunacy. A non-negotiable in your holiday carry-on this summer. Vogue. The book that everyone's talking about at the times. Okay, boring ass review. This book is nonsense. Okay, the start of this book. Okay, I like to annotate my books. It's something I've been doing for a while, just because it makes me feel more engaged. Because I'm like reading it and like think about how each page makes me feel, basically. Let me just read you my annotations. You can look at the colors that I have while I read it, okay? Blue, light blue, oh no, dark blue, is relatable or interesting moments. Green, disgusting or gross. Yellow, shook or just what the fuck moments. Dark pink is romantic. Orange is funny. Light blue is sad. Pink, light pink, cute moments. Purple, my favorite moments / quotes. Let's take a look at what colors I got here, babes. If you can't tell, okay, it is mostly green and yellow. It is mostly green and yellow. I went through, I don't think I've ever used, like, I've used green and yellow, you know, gross moments, shook, in a couple books, you know. I went through 2 packs of sticky tabs. Let's talk about it. Spoiler alerts if you haven't read it. Okay, I'll be honest, right? The first half of the book, weird as hell. I was grossed out the whole time. I was like, what is wrong with this person? The middle, horrible. Tears, crying, horrible. Sad as hell. The end made me spiral. It's a good book. It's a good book. But just be prepared to be grossed out and, like, maybe don't read it. And I'm also doing this for the end, because if you do want to read it, then read it. You have free will. I can't tell you what to do. I just think the book was nasty, okay? Anyways, this book is about a girl who has some trauma, and the start of it, like, okay, you don't know why she's doing this, but she just decides she is going to sleep for an entire year. She doesn't want to be awake anymore. She just wants to sleep. She goes to a shady therapist, gets a whole bunch of meds, every single day, takes the meds, passes out for most of the day. Maybe she's awake for 1 or 2 hours to get coffee, to eat, whatever. And she's also obsessed with Whoopi Goldberg. Good for her. The start, I was like, oh, what is happening? I don't really remember the start, but I do remember this vividly. She worked in an art gallery, and one of the artists who was like displaying something, he had these like, what are they called? Taxidermy dogs. I don't know how he taxidermied them, okay? He had taxidermy dogs on display. That was the artwork. And she wanted to start the sleeping thing, right? I don't know if she got the meds first, or like she just was sleeping a lot already, but she kept sleeping at work, and then she just decided, like, I'm gonna quit. So she leaves she's like the desk lady, the what do you call them, secretary, the person who works at the front desk, right? When you go to buildings, she's the one who works at the front desk at this art gallery. So she has to open and close. So she's closing. She's like, I'm quitting, in her head. And so she goes in front of this artwork of the taxidermy dogs, and she takes her pants off, and she takes a shit on the floor. That was when I decided to put this book down. That was when I was like, I am not reading this bullshit. Why did I buy this? I should have, like, I don't even know, like, what? Oh my gosh. I was just like, Cole, you are clearly insane. Clearly something's wrong with you. You're clearly mentally ill. Because who does that? What would ever compel you to take your pants off and take a shit on the floor? It's not even like the people at the work did anything bad to her. She just wanted to sleep. No one even, like, bothered her. I think they even liked her. She just decided to take a shit. I'm sure I have it annotated somewhere. She also is, like, dating this old man. Like, he is in his 40s, and they started dating when she was in college, so, like, 18, 19. I don't like that. I don't like age gap relationships. I especially don't like when people date older men. Like, no. Oh, a big part of this plot, if not the biggest part of this plot, is her best friend. She hates her best friend. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Every line that is about the friend is the rudest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I get there are people who, like, don't like their friends because they're jealous. She's not jealous of her. She just finds her irritating, and I'm just like, well, there's, like, a one weird thing about the same artist who made the taxidermy dogs. It said that he made an artwork made of his own ejaculate. Yeah. It was funny, okay? Some of it is funny, but it's, like, gross and it's, like, disturbing. So she does this. She starts taking a bunch of pills, starts sleeping a bunch. She doesn't have to work because both of her parents are dead. And then, of course, you're like, well, that explains everything, right? I was like, yeah, that should explain everything. But then the first half, she talks about how her parents were, like, absent, but she never ever says, like, she didn't care that she cared that they were absent. She just, like, thought that's how parents were. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, both her parents died, and they were very rich, so she got a bunch of inheritance. So she's been using that inheritance to pay for her apartment, to buy her food, whatever. Cool, she starts sleeping, starts taking a bunch of meds. Her friend comes over. The friend is annoying. The friend also has eating disorders, and that's, like, another big thing. And every time it's like her internal monologue. She's like talking about about her friend like throwing up her food or whatever, and like her friend being jealous of how skinny she is, and I'm just like, this is also important note, this book is set in the 2000s. It was also written in 2018, I believe. So context, I feel like, yeah, it's time, you know, it's yeah. Cool, time goes on. Let's just get towards the middle. She starts taking a new drug from her therapist called infirmitol. I don't know. It's supposed to be a sleeping med. Anyways, so yeah, she starts taking this infirmitol, whatever it's called. And the thing about this pill is, whenever she takes it, it makes her black out for 3 days at a time. So during the blackout, she doesn't know what she's doing. She could be doing anything. She could be robbing a bank, for all she knows. She just wakes up and she's like, oh my god. She remembers taking it, but she doesn't remember anything that happened. So she starts taking it, but she doesn't like it. Because she keeps like buying random shit and like doing weird stuff. I don't know. Then she starts hanging out again with the guy who made the taxidermy dog artworks. Cool. During this time, her friend's name is Riva. I don't actually know the main character's name. I don't know if they ever say her name. Whatever. But her best friend's name is Riva. Riva's mom passes away, and Riva is super sad about it, you know. She has a funeral. She invites her to the funeral. She's like, I'm not going. What an evil, horrible bitch. Like, what a horrible person. And the thing is, okay, we'll get there. She's like, I'm not going. Then she takes the drug and ends up going. Good, honestly good. She goes. While she's there, she didn't bring her other medication, so she couldn't sleep. And she was like, okay, while she's in her friend's room trying to sleep, she's like, I'm gonna see if I can feel anything. Because if you can still feel things, then that means her year of rest and relaxation is not working. Because the whole reason she's trying to sleep is so she has no more feelings. So she becomes numb. Anyway, she starts like thinking about her parents and how they died, and like she talks about her father having cancer, and starts like talking about how upset she was that she was dying, and like on his deathbed she was sobbing and like hugging him and holding him and just crying. And I'm crying because I'm a crybaby, okay? I cry for everything. Then she starts talking about how her mom like got sad after her dad died and like started drinking severely and taking drugs or whatever, and then the mom died, and then she was even more upset. And then during the time before the mom died, when the dad died, he was a lecturer or whatever, and then one of the other lecturers came and was trying to get his work. I don't know what that means. Like, he was trying to get his books or whatever, his writings. And the mom obviously didn't want to give it to him, and then he like essayed her while her mom was in the bathroom, and then her mom died. And then she talks about how her mom had a friend who was just like Riva, who was like annoying and latched onto her mom, and her mom never wanted to hang out with her, but she just wanted to hang out. And then the mom died, and then all this stuff, while simultaneously like bullying her friend for her, like, not even bullying, like just having no sympathy and like no love for a friend whose mom is dead right now. You know what it feels like, and you're not even like gonna give her a hug. Whatever. Cool, she comes back. She doesn't really want to take the medicine anymore. It starts messing with her other sleeping pills, and now her other sleeping pills aren't working, and yada yada yada. And then the friend, this is where it gets crazy, because it, like, she talks about how it's New Year's, right? And she ends up, like, blacking out over New Year's. And then she's like, 2001, and I'm like, 2001? Okay. Then the friend comes over, and she's like she's like ignoring the friend. She's not even listening. The friend's coming to like complain again, which, I'll be honest, the friend is a bit annoying. Like, she does complain a lot, but like, she's still a good friend, and she's always been kind, and like, you know, offering her kindness. And they became friends after her mom passed, or no, after her dad passed, and she went back, and, you know, Riva was like, do you want to hang out? Like, I'm sorry about your loss. And, you know, the only person to actually like give her condolences and be kind to her, she had like no one else being kind to her. Anyways, long story short, the friend finds out she's pregnant, and she's like, I'm gonna do a fetus deletus. But she's not listening to the friend. Like, she's ignoring her in her own internal monologue. But yeah, then she talks about how this guy who she's like in an affair with, he's married, but she's like in love with him. He's the daddy, but he doesn't want to work with her anymore, so he like promotes her and transfers her to a new building for their job. And this is where things get fucked. This is where things get messed up. The friend says she's been moved to the, what is this thing called? The boys also sit in New York, okay? She gets moved to the Trade Center, aka the Twin Towers. And it's 2001. What the hell? What the hell? This is sick and twisted. Now I'm like, oh, okay, so she's gonna die. So she's going to die. And the main character who we have to live through while reading this book doesn't even care about her. And I have to go through that knowing she's going to die. And this person is potentially gonna feel nothing. And I'm like, what is wrong with this author? What is wrong with him? Anyways, she carries on. She decides she's just going to take the infirmary because it makes her black out for 3 days, which is effective to a sleep. She's going to take it, and she's going to be awake for an hour, and in that hour she's just going to eat. She's not going to leave the room. She's going to sleep for the next few months until she reaches the point where it's been a year, right? By this point, it's been like at least 6 months of her taking the other medicines and sleeping. So she does that. And then the guy who's with the taxidermy dogs is like looking after her and using her for artwork, but she doesn't care. And she wakes up and she's like different. And she's like, my experiment worked. I don't feel anything anymore. I don't feel anything about my parents anymore. I'm a numb human being. And I see life so differently and so clearly now. And like everything is beautiful. And I'm taking things for as they are. And yada yada. Then she goes and she hangs out with Riva again. Riva doesn't really care about her anymore. Rightfully so, because she hasn't spoken to her for 6 months. She's been in this weird sleeping coma. She also had to go through her fetus deletus by herself. And her mom, you know, is also dead. And like the girl was just giving her no sympathy. And something happened. Like she gave... Okay, before she went on the sleep thing, she took one of the infirmaterol and she gave one to Riva because Riva was like crying and complaining. She was just like, do you want some drugs to take the pain off? Because she just wanted her to shut up. Do you know what I mean? So she gives it to her, and during that 3-day blackout, she said something to Riva. We don't know what she said, but she says something to Riva. She says something to Riva about changing her life, or she says something mean to her, or whatever. And during that blackout, she ends up Riva ends up taking all of her medications. And she has like a bunch that make her fall asleep, right? A bunch. And she wakes up from the 3-day blackout. And there's like a post-it note on her fridge that Riva left for her, like, this is the start of your new journey. She goes to the bathroom, all her drugs are gone. She starts freaking out. She's literally acting like an addict. And I'm like, oh my gosh. She goes freaking out. She goes to Riva's house. She breaks in, looking for her drugs, and she finds them. She takes them, whatever. And then she decides in that time, she's just going to take the inflammatory and do this whole thing, whatever. And I don't know what she said to Riva, but like, I think Riva just hated her after that, really, I don't know. But she gave Riva all of her clothes. This is a really sad part. She gave Riva all of her clothes. She was like, take all of it, I don't want it anymore. Riva is like poor, I guess, not as rich as the main character. But of course she's like excited because like the main character is like always buying designer clothes and what. So she takes the clothes, cool. She then, goes, and they don't speak for 6 months. She throws her phone away. She does this weird sleep thing. And then she tries to hang out with Riva, and Riva is just like not the same. Like, she just wants to leave. And this is really sad. I want to read the last part because, like, it made me cry. Because I'm, like, justice for Riva. Like, Riva, like, doesn't know what to say to her anymore. And then she starts telling her about this story about someone who tried to in their life from because they failed a thing, and then the family says he doesn't end up ending his life, like it's not successful, and then the family ends up being like, I love you, whatever. Like, Riva is kind of over her and like doesn't want to be friends, and then she kind of tries to take the magazine that Riva was reading, this article about the person who the family was like, I love you, whatever. And she doesn't want to let it go because Riva wants to leave. And then she says, I don't want her to leave. The white glare of the overhead lighting gleamed across her collarbones. She was beautiful, with all her nerves and all complicated, circuitous feelings and contradictions and fears. This would be the last time I'd see her in person. I love you, I said. I love you too. And then the next part of the chapter, we know what time it is, okay? Then she talks about how she like saw some teenagers and she like missed Riva again, and then she called Riva, and then Riva answered and was like, I'm at the gym, can we talk later? And says we never did. Then the next chapter is her talking about September 11th, and she's like, I went and bought a new VCR so I could record the news coverage of the planes crashing into the Twin Towers. And she talks about her weird old boyfriend. I don't give a fuck about that. She's like, Riva was lost, Riva is gone. And she just talks about how she constantly rewatches the taping and sees, this is really sick, and I don't know, this is not even funny. She talks about how like she sees a woman jumping off of the building with like a shoe in her hand and like a beautiful coat, and it's the clothes that Riva was wearing, and she thinks it's Riva, and then she's like, she looks so beautiful and free, and I cried. It's just like, why did it have to she was so horrible to this friend, and like, it may not have been the plot, but it was like the biggest part to me. Like, she was so mean to her just to like end it all by being like, I love you. Couldn't you realize you loved her earlier? Couldn't you realize before? Maybe. Anyways, why couldn't she like realize earlier how much her friend actually meant her, instead of being evil and hating on her friend all the time? Like, it was just so sad. But I do feel like this book did teach me a lot. Was the main character very morally corrupt? Yes, very much so. But like, she did have a lot of drama. I don't want to talk about the boyfriend. Like, I really don't care. He's weird. I don't like him at all. I don't like that he's like older than her or whatever, but clearly she has some problems. and I do think she did need a therapist, just not the one she was actually going to, because she was a bit, I don't even think she was a real therapist, I'll be honest. She was just some lady who somehow got a certificate and was like able to operate. I do, justice for Riva. She was I feel so bad for her. Like, well, I know it's not a real person, but like, she went through so much, and like, all she really needed was someone to tell her, girl, leave that man alone. He is married, leave him alone. And I'm like, sometimes you do need to get that, like, these men who cheat on their wives are the main perpetrators, but also, if you know that they're married, just leave them alone. And I don't know who I imagine her as, but I'm sure she was beautiful and could get, like, another man, surely. She should not have to stay with that man, and if she didn't, she wouldn't have been transferred. Anyways, yeah, this is a book. This book is really just like, go to therapy and heal for real, and like get a journal, maybe like write down your problems, and be kinder to your friends, and if you don't like them, you need to leave them alone sooner. Like, stop being friends with them sooner. Like, the way she wrote about her is like she'd never liked her from college. She should have just left her alone then, because like, yeah. And also, I feel like you can always tell when you have a friend who doesn't really like you that much, and if you are that person, just cut them off. It's not worth it to have like a friend who hates you. And you can always tell, you can always tell when someone is not good for you, and if you feel like they don't care about you, just leave them. Like, it's not worth it. It's better to have no friends and be alone than have a friend who's horrible. And don't take drugs unless you really need it. And also, I think like the end, like the way she spoke about life, like, yeah, it's good to see like the little beautiful things in life. Like, there are a lot of beautiful things that seem small, but you can appreciate it from time to time. And be better parents and actually care for your kids and pay attention to them, because if we had less parents like basically abandoning their kids, none of them would end up like this person. Yeah, just be nice to your friends, find friends who care about you, deal with your trauma as best as you can, and you cannot sleep through it. You cannot just put yourself in a drug-induced coma and sleep through the pain. Like, really just like talk to someone about it, someone who's real and will help you. And yeah, anyways, that's about it. Today was just a media vibe, talking about like my favorite shows and whatever, and this book. But now I am one book down, so we're 1 out of 12, guys. I did buy the entire A Court of Thorns and Roses book. Well, I didn't buy it, I got it as a Christmas gift, but I got like that entire book set, so maybe I'll read that next. But we really gotta get cracking. Like, I need to catch up with 3 books. It's still 3 because it's April now. And the other day was April Fool's. I can't remember if I was filming this one before that or not, but I do not like April Fools. Let it be known. And I did get got, but I won't say how I got got. Well, I didn't get got personally. I got got through someone's Instagram stories. And I don't like that. Like, honestly, I'm gonna lie every day. I'll lie every day. Not just on April 1st. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week. Love you. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok, I guess. I don't even think I post that much, but yeah. Bye. Stay safe.